find a new way to lock folks up. Now the bad part about it is when my people was enslaved, the males were worth $1,500. After slavery, black male bodies haven't been worth much unless you locked them up for a long time. Think about this: 374 prisoners sold for $5. At least when you was a slave, you worked sun up and sun down. They literally would put black men in a coal mine and just leave them there. They wouldn't even come up because they were so cheap. So you had these jails, especially down south. There was this, and there's a whole list of companies that benefited from that, right? So, so Slavery Under Another Name was a documentary that was produced here in Minnesota on Channel 2. It lays it all out. Okay? Because they wasn't going to give up that money, because slavery is about money. Do you understand how rich America became because of slavery, free labor, and cotton? They wasn't going to give that up. And ironically, there was northern companies that benefited on that because slaves were part of the stock market. So, we got sharecropper. My grandfather was a sharecropper. Can you imagine how being a sharecropper? Slavery over, I ain't got no place to go. I don't know how to read and write. I've been raised on this plantation. This plantation owner come over to me and said, Steve, I know I ain't always treated you all so well, but, we can't afford to lose the land. And, you were raised here, you grew your kids here, and I need your help. Now, my grandfather, he was one evil man, and so I can imagine what's going through his head. What are he going to do? He ain't been nowhere, don't know how to go nowhere, got 3 kids, what are he going to do? So he stays. My grandfather was the equivalent of Mr. on Color Purple. There was a lot of old black men like that who was just bitter. They've been bitter so long, they don't even know how to stop being bitter. We're talking about a rock and a hard place. We're talking about a rock and 3 hard places. And then we got lynching. They weren't lynching a whole lot of slaves. How often you going to lynch something for $1,500? You might work with him, cut his foot off. Keep him running. Now, if he act a fool, what you do is when you do lynch him, you make sure that everybody gets to see it. To let you know I will do it. Yes, that was, and so now you lynching black folks, and you lynching black men, and not only do you lynch them, you castrate them. Now what's that all about? You can have a black man and a white man lynch at the same time, and they will never castrate the white man. So there's Jim Crow was that era where we were scared to let our boys out in the street after dark. Then you got to go to the Great Migration. My parents moved to Springfield, Illinois in 1954 when I was 6 months old. Largest movement of people in the history of America. There's a quote from a black woman that said, I got tired of being raped in public by white men and in private by black men. So I decided to go up north. There's another Jim Crow narratives where one person said, I was treated better when I was a slave than I'm treated now down south. Bitter. And so, but the problem with that is when black folks left from down south, they left the land. When they left the land, they left the wealth. And some of that land was theirs. The beginning of poverty. And so you come up to the factory because black men had skills. Black men and women had skills. They might not be able to read and write very well, but they had skills. My father could well. He barely learned how to read before he died. He's making $40 an hour in the factory. Think about that. You're barely reading and writing, making $40 an hour, buy a new Buick every 2 years. Them are them same jobs that folks are talking about we want to make come back. They ain't coming back. I understand why we miss them. I worked at International Harvester. My father worked at International Harvester. Them red tractors that are in fields rusting? We used to make them. And so you got the manufacturing jobs, segregated housing.